Do you mean my son? I that I carry around with me all the time? Sure. I guess I haven't heard of it, but if that's what we're calling it, then I am guilty, and I literally call this my son.
Hey, I'm Gemma, host of I Don't Know What We're Talking About and the person behind Gemma Watches Stuff. Here's how this show works: one guest, 5 topics, one surprise selection, and absolutely no script, just pure, fun, chaotic conversation. This episode, I'm joined by the wonderfully creative Amy Vorpahl. She calls herself a professional nerd, and honestly, it fits perfectly. Amy is a writer, actor, musician, and dungeon master who has brought her unique spark to the world of Dungeons & Dragons. She's written for official D&D releases, blended comedy with music, and become a beloved presence in the tabletop gaming community. Let's roll the dice and jump in. Hello, my name's Gemma from Gemma Watches Stuff, and this is the podcast I Don't Know What We're Talking About, where chaos reigns, things get out of hand, we take weird tangents to weird conversations, and today I am joined by none other than Miss Amy Vorpahl here with me today. Going to be having some interesting, wild, chaotic, crazy conversation, and you were just telling me before I hit record that you were worried that you're not sure if we're going to have enough content to talk for a whole hour.
Yes. Yes. Well, I was specifically, yeah, like the topics that I sent in, I was like, ooh, I might have a few things to say about them, but I don't know if I could give a TED talk about them for an hour.
I I actually love the topics that you sent me. Out of all of the
Okay.
guests that I've had, you've done so well. Don't worry, don't stress.
Okay,
Done
okay.
so
Well,
well.
we love a 5-star review, however it
So
shows up.
out of all the topics that you sent me, I think looking at the list, the 5 that you sent me was so diverse and so chaotic. I
Okay.
am struggling to pick just one. So even if we like smash out 2 or 3 today, that's totally
Okay.
fine. So the way this podcast works is that you and I have been Instagram messaging and emailing, locking in a time to record and get this set up. And while we were having these conversations, you have sent me 5 different topics about different things. And you come on to the podcast and we have this conversation, and you have no idea what I've chosen or what we're going to be talking about today.
That's right. And I think I regret a couple of them.
It'll be interesting then to see which one I pick for you.
Okay, yeah.
My favorite part my favorite part of doing this, and I think what you've just said makes this even better. My favorite part of doing this is when I pick, okay, so out of the 5 you've said, this is what we're doing today, and then watching the guest's response to that is always
Yes.
like,
Okay,
oh,
good.
yeah, that's right, that's what I picked. Or, oh, yeah, I'm so excited, I'm glad you picked that one.
Okay.
My favorite one was, I can't even remember the 5 that I sent you, so whatever you pick, I really have no idea what we're talking about. So it's pretty.
I only remember one, to be honest, and it's one that I'm like, ooh, I bet you'll pick that one, and I don't know if that's the one that I would pick, but it's yeah, that we'll see. I mean, look, it's all consensual, don't worry, but I'm like fingers crossed.
Well, we better not hold you too long with that. So I'll let you know the one that I've picked. I've got 2, so I've got a backup one
Okay,
in case. But the
okay.
one I think we'll open with and we'll start with, they're all so good. They're so crazy.
Okay.
Um, Everyone should get a ukulele and everyone should paint their apartment walls.
Oh, okay, great. That I don't remember sending those in. Perfect.
Okay,
That's
that
great.
was one. That was one of the 5.
Oh, it was? Oh,
Yeah,
that's one.
yeah. So we've got
Okay.
2 parts to that to dig into anyway. But I love the fact
Okay,
that you
okay.
can't remember. That's brilliant. So
I don't remember that one.
there is nothing more obvious for me to ask than why should everybody get a ukulele and go paint their apartment walls? Why did you pick that as a topic?
Oh,
Where did that come
yeah,
from?
I must have been in a spicy mood. Look, I because I've done both of those things and they're life-changing. So we'll start with the apartment walls. I think a lot of people are scared if they're renting that they shouldn't paint. And my like belief is like your security deposit is normally like the cost of one month of rent. But when you paint your walls, whether you have like permission to or not, you can always paint over them. Or worst case scenario, you will get zero of your security deposit back. But if you look at the cost of what that is, wouldn't you pay that money for the joy that color on the walls gives you for that amount of time? Like just the mental health part of it. I have, you can see right here, I've got like this turquoise color. Um, on my wall that I painted as soon as I moved into this apartment, and I've been here 13 years. And I've got my bedroom that has like an olive green color, or like olive avocado green, same in my kitchen. And it's just like the joy of what that is, and like to decorate and to have the stuff on your walls and surrounded by the stuff that makes you happy. I just can't imagine living another way.
I was going to say the first thing I noticed when you jumped on this call was the background, like phenomenal, like that wall behind you with the lights,
Yes.
like the stickers. Birds, are they stickers or something?
They're dragons. Yeah, they're dragons, and they're like 3D little paper origami things. I didn't make them, but I got them off Etsy.
Yeah,
And
wow.
then there's obviously like Game of Thrones dragon. This is a cross stitch that my mom made. Dragon. These are figurines of dragons. That's a figurine of a dragon. Like, yeah, we just and then there's more that way. And then there's the only thing that's on this wall that isn't a dragon. There's Shelob. There's like a Shelob, the big spider from Lord of the Rings over there as well.
That's so cool. That's
And
amazing.
this lamp is called Icarus
Oh, flying too close
because
to the sun. And
yeah, it
yeah,
looks like wings.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really, really cool. I, I wish I could, but I can't. But here's the thing. Now I have a million questions, and some, people might be like, "We're talking about painting a wall here. We're literally talking about paint." But like, I have a million questions because I'm here in Australia, and where are you based? You're based in the US. What?
Los Angeles.
Yeah, okay. So you're based in LA. The rules around renting are so different already based on what you've already said about
Oh,
like
are they?
I mean there's some similarities but there are some big differences I can already tell because my heart looks at your wall covered in dragons and I want to do that. I want to do that. I rent. I want to do that. I want to have a fancy wall. I want to paint my apartment wall. I can't do that here because the
I
rules.
technically can't either. I like it's illegal. Like I should not do it. And I did.
Oh,
And we'll figure it out. Do you know what I mean? Like I
okay.
have broken a rule and I regret none of it. And like when the time comes, I don't know what they'll do. Like I also have put up peel and stick wallpaper, but that will just come off.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm can't I like am legally bound. I signed where I shouldn't be able to do this. I'm not able to do this, and yet I did it. And I still think you should
You should do it.
because it's worth I don't know what they have on me. Like maybe they'll charge extra. Like I think the contract says that I am forfeiting my security deposit. Um and that I don't really care about. But if they have other recourse, we'll see what that is.
Hmm. But I guess that you've made it though. What's the price of your mental health? Like if having a wall full of dragons
Yeah.
and cool Icarus lights brings you joy, there's not a lot of that out in the world. Like it's hard to hold on to that joy. And if having a wall painted is going to do that for you, then price be damned, I guess.
I think that's my argument. Yeah, it's like I think I don't know why that law was put into place, but it is, and I think there are penalties for it, and I think I will just pay the penalties. Now, I am saying this. I also believe that like you'll be in your place longer than you think. If you think you'll be there in a year, it could be, but I don't think there's so I think it's like I thought I was going to be in this place for I don't know, a while, but I didn't think I would be here for 13 years, and I've been here for that long.
Wow.
So that's just to me it's like, oh, thank God. Then I thank God I you know did it. I
Okay.
also look, I painted this heater, which certainly, but it's like, the landlord
Might not be
special my
safe. I don't know
way.
if that's. I don't know if it's safe to paint over a heater, but full send. I appreciate the full send. It's like I'm just going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks better.
Chemicals in the paint burning. Be damned. We're just going to do it.
It hasn't burnt, and I use that a lot during the winter, and it hasn't chipped in all 13 years or done anything really. So
So how
I
long
think
ago?
we're in the clear.
Yeah, how long ago did you paint your walls? When did you make that decision?
The second I moved in, the
Yeah.
absolute second I moved in.
Has
The
this
reason I
something?
did it,
Yeah, go on.
when I was in I've only lived in I've been in LA 20 years, and my first apartment, I had roommates, and it was horrible. It was like bad, and I thought I would be there for very short amount of time. Wound up being there for 6 or 7 years, and that's why I was like, the next place I move, I'm doing whatever I want to it because I know I'll be there longer than I think, and I think it'll be worth it to mess up some stuff. And like six, if I thought I was going to be there 1 year and it was 6 years, I don't really know. And also, yeah, maybe it's 6 months, maybe this isn't, maybe I'm completely wrong, but it has worked out in my favor. And now all 13 years I get to look at my favorite color every day.
And the dragons are so cool. I love it so
And the
much.
dragons,
I
yeah.
Okay, now that we've gotten through all of that, I think that the rules here in Australia might actually be the same as what you've got here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, actually, we probably do have the same rules.
And
Because
I'm a rules follower, and it's just that on this one I was like, well, I just kind of was like, well, I'll pay the price. I don't know what the price is even really. But like what vindictive person, like what is they paint over my all my cabinets won't close. You can see these guys open. That's not because like stuff is popping out. It's because the landlord special. It's
yeah.
over, they just paint over everything anyway. Like I've got evidence that they'll fix it, with 5 coats of white paint. So they'll just do what they do, and meanwhile I'll be happy. So
Here in Australia, they do the similar thing. You mentioned like your security deposit, like we have that too. You pay it's
yeah,
about a month
okay.
generally. You pay your month bond is what we call it. So you pay
Hmm.
bond, you pay a month in advance when you secure the rental and you sign the lease agreement and all of the rest of it, and you move in. And then you sign the contract that this is what the house looks like as I've moved in. Most places now will you take photos of each room or any damage that's already on the property when you move in, so that when you move out they can't go, oh, well, you owe us extra money because the carpet's ripped in this corner. You'd be like, well, no, this is a photo. And I
Mm.
signed the contract when I moved in that this carpet was already ripped when I moved in, so that you don't have to
Gotcha,
pay extra
gotcha.
for that. So they do that. And then we pay you pay the bond, you pay the security deposit, and you pay rent, you're good to go. Um, but what we have here, and I'm curious, I don't know if they have this in the States, we get house inspections where someone from the real estate, so not the owner of the house, not the landlord, but the company that intercedes for him or her who own the property, they will come through on the landlord's behalf to check the place out to make sure that it's being taken care of and that we haven't gone and, punched holes in walls or anything like that. And so that
Okay.
happens. It depends on the company, the real estate, it depends on the landlord, but generally every 6 months there'll be a house
No,
inspection.
that does not happen at all.
We have to be notified. We get email or phone call. They have to let us know. And I think I don't know what the exact law is off the top of my head, but there is a rule that they have to give us a certain amount of time notice that they are coming,
Okay.
and we have to agree that we're going to come on 2 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. They have to get a response from us to say, yep, that's fine. 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Either somebody will be home at the time, because then it's up to you. You can be here while someone from the company comes and checks it out, or they have keys, so they have the spare key. So
Okay.
they'd come and let themselves in if you're at work or something. So that's generally how it works. So we have like a house inspection, which generally happens once every 6 months. You don't have anything like that.
No, I mean the most that's been done, and it happens every, gosh, it's certainly not twice a year, not even once a year. Maybe I couldn't even tell you. But not often. A year or two or three or four or five in between is like just some, I guess, some fire safety, like safety protocol things, like air filtration, or they inspect the doors to see if there's like, if that's do I know there's one thing with my door that isn't, they want to, like ideally they would replace the door, but the way the airflow goes because of blah blah blah, they can't. And then they check out the fire
Like the security alarm
alarms.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But that isn't often, and certainly not every 6 months, and certainly not once a year.
I'm starting to think I like it better where you are because
It favors the renter. Like our
yeah.
laws are very, very renter, like in favor of the renter.
Yeah, not here. And you're gonna think this is funny. We have that here that they come and they check the fire alarm. So like the security thing in the roof, they come and they check
Yeah.
the fire alarm. But there's generally a different company that the real estate will contact or have on their books that will go, and they'll message us on their behalf and be like, hey, we've booked you in for, whatever time, whatever day, they're going to come and check your fire alarm to make sure you're up to date and the batteries don't need to be changed, or whatever, to make sure that everything's functioning
Hmm.
well. Does that suit you? Yep, cool, no worries. So then we'll have the fire alarm guys come in, and then they'll check and inspect, the kitchen and the bedrooms and make sure that the alarms are on and working as well. So that's separate.
Oh, on top of that,
That's
yeah, it's
that's
separate.
separate
And
from
I
the
think I
other.
think that is, I mean, when you said it's a different company, I do think it is a different company. But yeah, that's a lot that y'all have to,
So I'm too
be
scared.
surveyed. You're under a microscope,
Which brings me back to the painting of the walls. I think I'm just too scared because I want to. I can't. I'm too
you
scared to
know.
stick things on the walls as it is. Like there's
That's
nothing behind me. Okay, there's nothing here because I'm too scared to put anything on the wall.
but there are, I mean, you can find, like, look, I fully painted mine, and God be with me. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know that you can find some, like, Instagram and TikToks for people who rent with, like, really, really removable sticky stuff that can hold up, portraits and pictures, if that, or in posters or whatever art, if that's interesting to you, because it's it's possible. It's possible to decorate, and for me it's like, un I wouldn't, I can't live not like that.
I feel your. I'm there. I feel the pain. I'm living in the pain.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I think like we can't, like there's like I've seen similar things to what you're talking about. I'm such a doom
Uh-huh.
scroller. I've seen all of the things on TikTok, so I know that there's like certain things out there that are made with renters in mind. Even like there's companies out there that have
Yeah.
designed and created things specifically knowing that you're gonna have to move. You're not gonna be in this home forever. You don't own it.
Yeah.
We want to protect the wall. Like yeah, but I think the consequences, I mean, you've got consequences there too. I don't know, but the consequences here, if you do like serious damage, I guess that's the thing. Yeah, they take your security deposit, they take your bond, but like, I don't know, it's just money. I guess it really depends on each person and where they value
Yeah, what,
getting
yeah,
their joy
yeah.
from and
Look,
how much their joy is worth.
I always say, everything has taxes, and not all taxes are money. And so it's just like, which cost are you paying? I'm paying the cost of money, probably. Like, that's what they'll do to me. But you're paying the cost of living without color and art.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's my argument. That's it. That's my argument. I guess that I feel very, I convinced, there was a makeup artist on a set once, and he was bemoaning, like, he was like, oh, I cannot, my apartment's so drab, and da 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 da. And he was like dressed so flamboyantly and just like very joyously. And I was like, yeah, you don't scream like I think you would die if you kept living in, grayish and beige and all of that. And he was like, yeah, but I can't. And I was like, you know, reality is an illusion, baby. Yes, you can. But like, but ask yourself the question, like, what could happen, worst case scenario. And if really you think the worst case scenario is gonna be money, or, I mean, I don't think anyone could evict you for painting a wall. But even if that's the worst case scenario, like, I don't know, just ask yourself, like, and now this person was in Los Angeles, and I'm living proof that, nothing's happened to me yet. But I wound up convincing him, and he wound up going painting his walls. And like, I might go to hell for all of this, but I can't imagine. It's just like adding color to people's lives, and I believe in that, and I stand for it. And if I'm going to be paying thousands of dollars later on, then yeah, I'll pay it.
You're kind of
Figure it out.
a little rebel or a little hero, depending on how you want to look at it, running
I
around.
know, I know. It's so weird because it's so mild, but it's so grand to me. It is something that, like, I just, like, I do believe in it.
This
So
is the hill that you will stand on and die on. You must paint
I
the wall.
yeah, yes,
I
yes.
absolutely love it. Are you this forward about? preserving joy, because I feel like that's really what you're talking about. Like it's a mental health thing. I mean, that's been your argument, like looking at these walls is bringing you joy, and you've decorated it with things that make you happy and your interests and hobbies and all that sort of thing. Lord of the Rings, you're a fan, so it's there on the wall, like these sorts of things. So are you like this with more stuff? Is this sort of, I mean, hair color, for example? You've got beautiful, cool purple hair. Like, is that a
Thank
thing?
you.
Like, it brings you joy, so I'm just going to do it. Is this like kind of how you, I don't know, interpret or
Um,
deal with the world around you?
I
Because
have my moments. I try, like I think I'm way more balanced. But I do try. I really do try. If I have some questions that if you've ever heard of like if you're feeling bad, like ask yourself the questions that a vet might ask of your dog. So it's like, how have they been getting outside lately? Have they been socializing with, are they around humans
have
enough?
you
Are they
slept?
around other
Have you had
dogs enough?
water today?
Have you had water? What does your poop look like? What is, it's like, yeah, with the diet, it's like all the normal stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think that's why I put ukulele on there too. It's just like, um, it's actually, a monkey could learn how to play it. I firmly believe, with these chords, you need very few, fingers. If it's not heavy on the learning spectrum, like you can learn to play it in a day, or like a second, really, just looking at like where the fingering should go. And then you have free at home karaoke, and so music I definitely think is a source of joy. And I think it's really fun, and I think anyone, even if you can't sing, like you can hole up in a private area and do at home karaoke that doesn't matter, like that's really, really fun. I'm sure not everyone would agree with me, but I think they would if they just gave it a shot. Where no one can hear you, like it isn't about being good at something. It's just like, oh, I like this song. I'm gonna like play it and sing it. The end. But I don't know. It's hard to say I live my life by the pursuance of joy, but I try sometimes when I'm cognizant enough to do it and I'm not dissociating and I have enough energy and spoons to do it, then yes, for the
You've
most
seen
part.
people and seen the sunshine, and you've had enough water, and you've had food today.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. When the stars are aligned and I'm able to, I think I try to I try to pursue joy.
I
But
100%
yeah,
agree with you on the ukulele thing. I myself can play the ukulele. I
let's go.
Yeah, it's good. It was not the first instrument I picked up, but so it was really
Okay.
really easy to play because I could already play the guitar. So I already had
Mm.
the musical knowledge. I When I left school, my was become a musician, become rich and famous, and become a musician. So I went and did a diploma of music, and performance and anyway, so I knew how to play the guitar. I could play a couple other instruments, but I knew how to play the guitar. And I'm like, oh, the ukulele's cute and fun, and like, it's good for music teaching, especially with kids or working in a school. Whipping out the ukulele for the kids in a classroom was always a really cool skill to be able to have. I even ended up teaching some teachers how to play the ukulele so that they could then use that in their classrooms with their kids that they were teaching. So it was really cool, and it was a really great way to connect in the classroom and things like that. But picking up the ukulele after already knowing how to play the guitar was the easiest thing to do. And then teaching people who had never played a guitar or never had any musical knowledge how to play the ukulele, easy. You want to play an instrument, I 100% agree with you. I am on board for this. The painting of the walls, I might still need some convincing. The
Yeah.
ukulele thing, I'm there, okay?
Yeah, there's
Anyone.
there's no law breaking
Yeah.
involved in owning a ukulele.
Make as much noise as you want. There's only so much volume you're getting out of one of those things. So
Yes,
have
yes.
karaoke at 1 a.m. at your house. It's not gonna, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I
100%.
agree.
So why did you pick up the ukulele? How long have you been playing ukulele for?
Well, I still am not very good, but I guess it was maybe about 10 years ago, somewhere around there, and I did it. Honestly, I was doing a lot of sketch comedy, and a lot of the people doing sketch comedy, every once in a while they would write like where a character where they were a singer songwriter, they're like, Amy, you do it, and I'm like, okay. And so it was just one of those instruments that was so easy that yes, I could be the even if I was an emo type character, whatever, I could. And the ukulele is like a bright, sunny, weird sound. I could still play the character and get away with it. And a guitar is like more like you're gonna be doing a, a career amount of practice for that, whereas a ukulele, like you, it doesn't take, it literally, it doesn't take any time and then you've got it. I think rhythm is still difficult for me. So and learning to strum with my fingernails was weird. The end, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it was for sketch comedy. I think it was for sketch comedy.
I
And
was going to say,
then
being able to
and then it was a
play and perform like that, yeah, it's probably a really helpful tool to just be
yeah.
able to play ukulele, especially in sort of settings that you would use it in sketch comedy and things like that. Just being able to whip out the ukulele and just make some noise that sounds somewhat coherently like a song, it's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, simple, easy.
Yes, it's serviceable. It's
Yeah.
serviceable. It gets the job done without anyone, you don't have to practice 8 hours a day or anything. You just kind of are like, wait, I want to say these funny words and sing them a little bit, and that'll do. So I still write songs on the ukulele, but I will say the albums I've got out, none of them feature a ukulele. Like it's just me communicating to my music producer what I think the chords probably are and like the rhythm and all of that. But I've started to write songs using the piano, and that is a feels like a cheat code. Like it just feels completely like, oh, why wasn't I doing this the whole time?
Mm.
Because all the notes and all the chords are just right there for you. As opposed to a ukulele, it's like if you want to do, the weird F minor seventh diminished fifth or whatever, you're like your fingers have to do a weird thing,
Yeah.
but with on the piano you just do that and you're like, yeah, I think that sounds about right. And oh, they're just all in a row for you exactly where they're meant to be, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So it definitely feels like a hack.
Yeah, you beautifully led me to my next question, which was going to be, with all of your music experience, because I know you write and sing and perform and all of these sorts of things. Do you play any other instruments? So yes, piano. And I think,
No, I don't really. I don't. I just write the songs. I have a little keyboard, and I like literally this week I wrote a tango villain song for something I'm working on, and it's like I wanted it to be a tango, and I just was like, what key is a tango in? I Googled what tango key chord families. What are you doing? And they were like a minor key, and I was like, okay, what about C minor? And then I just looked up the C minor key family with the piano charts, and I was like, dun dun, like playing them and going, okay, like I don't know, I can't really play it, but again, I can get to a serviceable like communication of what I think should happen in the song. And then I have the melody. Like I think it's good for me for figuring this out, but thank God there are like actual musicians on this planet, So no, I do not put me on stage. I don't even like playing the ukulele on stage. It's really terrifying for me. Like it doesn't, I don't like it.
do you get a different type of anxiety between playing ukulele on stage versus doing improvisational comedy or scripted work, or are there different types of anxiety you experience when you are performing
I
different
guess
things?
it's no, not anxiety, just skill level. Like I will not keep a rhythm. Like if it's an instrument and like the rhythm will go, it's a skill level thing. Like I don't have my 10,000 hours, but as far as performing on stage and using my voice and my instrument and my body, all good. Pretty good there. We'll be all right. We'll figure it out no matter what. And then it's less anxiety and just like this is gonna be disappointing for a lot of you guys. I mean, I actually care less. I'm like, well, I just am the musician I am, which is really it's less than middling. It's like below average musician. Uh and then so it's kind of like you get what you get. I actually have no ego around it, but it will be not good. Like it'll be disappointing. So there are other people who can do that, and that's what I mean. Thank God there are real musicians on this planet.
You
Not
get
it's
what
not
you get.
me.
You get what you get, and you don't get upset. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play and have.
Yeah, and I would rather not. I would rather like someone who is good at it be on stage for that reason. And then I'll be on stage doing the thing that I am decent, at least decent at.
I don't sell yourself so short. That's the beautiful thing about music, though. You can have any skill level. If it's bringing
You
you.
can, and I don't want to. I don't want to be better at it. I
Yeah,
don't want to practice it. And I have more things I want to be better at. So I'll just like, so if I'm doing a thing, maybe I'll play the ukulele and everyone will just have to deal with it and it's their problem. But more often than not, it would be like, hey, will you come play the piano? Will you accompany me or play the guitar or something like that? I'm not selling myself short. I just know where I'm willing to put my time, and it's not in excelling at
no.
an instrument.
So there are some amazing, like, again, I can play averagely, like enough to get me through. I can hit, some of those minor, F sharp minor chords and things like that. But once
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the diminished phase, I'm like, no. But like enough to get me through any standard pop song or 12
Yeah.
fuck around with anything that anybody. The only thing that anybody is ever going to request for ukulele is like the one, you learn four chords and you can play any pop song and you're sweet. You're good to go. You get four shapes with your fingers, done. Problem solved. That's all
Yes.
I need to
Yes.
know. And so as soon as you can do that, then you're fine. You don't need to put any more, extra work or effort. However, just it's sometimes really interesting is to watch professional musicians play the ukulele and I'm like, wow, I did not know this instrument was capable of doing that or making that noise.
Oh, I know. Totally. Yeah. There's like an inflection point. It's like an easy access point, kind of like golf. Like there's an easy road to get to like a 7 out of 10 proficiency. And then there's this like 10 to 20 years where you get to like a 9.1. And then there's another 20 years until you get to a 10. And those people at a 10, you're like, that's not a ukulele. That can't be. How is that? How are those plastic strings? I don't understand.
The noise that comes out of that instrument and then you play, you like plop it along with your four little chords, and you're like, yeah, this is great, this is a vibe, I'm having a good time, I can play the ukulele, sure. And then you watch or you hear someone or you see someone or you're scrolling and it pops up somewhere and you see somebody who is like a professional musician and ukulele is their instrument and they play
Yeah.
something
Oh,
beyond
totally.
words. I'm just like, oh well, this isn't the same instrument. I don't play that. That's
Yes.
not this.
Yes.
This isn't even close to what that is, and it's absolutely mind blowing the
I agree.
incredible skill out there that some people have for this tiny little plastic.
Yes.
I feel like a giant every time I play it. I'm 6 foot, so I'm quite tall.
Wow. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have guessed that.
yeah, I'm 6 foot tall, and so when I play the ukulele, especially because I also play guitar, so then occasionally when I pick up the ukulele, I'm like,
I have a tenor ukulele. So even on Zoom and like screens, people get that. They're like, "Oh, nice guitar." And I'm like, "In yeah, like the because size on screens is deceptive, but the tenor ukulele is it's like that instead of this, it's like a little more comfortable. Uh and I don't know what possessed me to get that. I didn't know anything. I when I got it, I just was trying to do sketch comedy and I was like, "That's ukulele. Okay, $70, I'll take it." Like it was
the other
it
thing.
was
It's so accessible and cheap, and you don't have to have great mobility. I feel like people with mobility issues or coordination playing the guitar can be a little bit more complicated. You got four fingers, six strings, like five if
yes.
you use your thumb. You've still got five in an open string.
Oh
Like
my
it
God.
takes
And
a
it's
bit more.
steel. It'll kill you. You'll be bleeding.
Yeah, so it takes a bit more practice and muscles and stretching and yeah. But with ukulele, again, you learn those four chords, you're good to go. And it's like tiny, one string per finger, like because there's four strings on the ukulele, one string per finger. You don't have to think about that too much. Whereas the guitar, you've got to count on the six strings. It's like the third string up with this finger, and then
Yeah.
everything. But I feel like once one finger per string, generally, usually. I mean, there are, again, it's that thing. Once you get past 7 out of 10, then things can get hectic and you get bar chords and you get weird things and all you
And
like,
you get the tuning it in a certain kind of way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get your diminished chords or you got to like stretch your fingers in weird ways again, but we don't do that. We're just 7 out of 10. That's all I need.
Yes, yes.
We are
My favorite chord on a ukulele is a seventh because it's just one finger on the one string, and it sounds so cool. It's a good chord. There. Now you know.
Now I know. And my favorite chord on the guitar is an E minor seven, which is again just one finger on one string.
Oh, nice. Okay, great.
Love it. That's fantastic. We've reached about the halfway point, and so I think
Okay.
now that we've sort of wrapped up with why everybody should go, I'm 100% on board with this now. I'm going to go start telling everybody that they need to go and get a ukulele, and you may
Yes.
have convinced me that I need to just go and paint the wall because what's the worst that could happen? Let's find out. Just go and paint my walls.
If you do, let me know.
I was
If
going
you
to say
do anything,
you'll come
you
back.
could ease into it by just like hanging one art, and seeing no, okay, no,
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 no, no,
all
no.
in or
If
nothing.
we're gonna, it's a full Aussie. I'm a full send. If we're gonna do it, then we'll do
Okay,
it properly.
okay.
And if we're gonna do it, then the next you're gonna come back and we'll do another episode. And behind me, will
Full
colors.
maximalist.
Oh,
Yes.
that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful and pretty and decked out. So I'm gonna start doing that over here. So I'll be going around telling people you need to get a ukulele and you need to go and paint your walls because why not?
Yeah.
You've convinced me. You've converted me. I'm there. I'm all for it.
Great.
We were at halfway, so now's the time where we'll play a bit of a game. It's called This or That.
This or that, it's time for this or that.
And as
Okay.
the name suggests, it is pretty straightforward. This or that. I'm going to give you two options, two different things, and you just have to pick which one you would prefer or not prefer, or which one is better or worse, or who knows
Okay.
what it is. I've got four for you today. The
Okay.
first one is one that we have given to every guest we've had on the show so far, has been asked this as their first this or that question. And so far, everybody has given the same answer. Haven't had anyone yet who's broken that. So here you go. Your first this or that is hero or villain.
Um, Villain.
Why would you pick villain?
Um, I was gonna say hero, and then I guess I'm a dungeon master at heart, and also I've been doing a lot of musical improv, and I think in musical improv, you start with an opening number, you get kind of a setting of a protagonist of what they want and what they're gonna go for, and then you get the villain, and like I feel like 9 times out of 10 the villain's more interesting, and even like the thing they want is just clearer and easier to play. There's also usually trauma involved, and I don't know, it's always ideally your hero does that. It's just that somehow it's easier with a villain to do that. Uh to have like a redemption arc kind of thing.
Depth of character as well, I suppose.
I suppose. Yeah. Yeah. I
You
don't know. Yeah.
you've held the trend. Everybody I've asked this same question have all said villain, and they've all said for nearly the exact same thing that you said. They're more interesting to play, more interesting to perform as a villain or act as a villain, or
Yes. There's also if you see an actor on a TV show and they're a villain or they're like the negative person, and then they get interviewed and they're nice and like they can hold a conversation. Everyone's like, God, they're such a good actor because they've been playing a bitch. But you don't get that same one for one. You don't get like, wow, that person is so likable in the show and they're likable in the interview. They're a good actor. Do you know what I mean? So it's like this evidence that you can be two different ways.
never
I've
thought of
just seen that happen more
that's
often than not.
yeah, that's never come up. I'd never thought about that before, but you're so true. Actually, yeah, all the interviews and like, oh wow, they're so even. Yeah, they're so different from their character. Oh, they're actually amazing and they're so kind. And oh, wow, they're such a good actor just because they're doing something totally different.
Just because they're, yeah,
Wow,
generally
yeah,
negative.
wow, that's really
Yeah.
cool. I hadn't thought about that before. Excellent, really good point. This or that number two. This one, you can only whisper or you can only shout.
Whisper.
Why?
I'll do whisper. Because we have We have microphones, I suppose. Like it's more there's amplifying, and I've also heard, I'm not like a professional voice actor, but when I've been around them and voice actors doing their thing, they are whispering like like when they're acting, it's very like it's very close to the mic, and they're very it's like incredibly soft. And so I think also like when even songs I hear, when people actually perform them, it's way, way, way quieter than uh the production of it. So yeah, I guess because of microphones, I'd choose whisper.
Yeah, you really approached this from a very like strategic answer. You
Yes.
thought about it. I like it. There was lots of deep thought into that. It wasn't a throwaway answer. You were like, you know what?
No, no.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. All right, number three, you lose your wallet or you lose your phone.
Oh, I'll lose my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Uh, well, because I can just, I mean, look, it costs, again, it's like fixed with money, but wallet fixing isn't money. It's money and time. Like my driver's license, all my credit cards, what else do I have? My insurance, like just the stuff that you just, my SAG after card, like that's money and time. Whereas the phone, if I lose it, I can go online, put a full stop on it, find my phone and then mark it as lost, and then go into a store and get another one, and I think download basically all the information. Maybe I'd lose some pictures and videos, but
I guess everything's in the cloud now anyway. So like most of the
yeah.
pictures and videos and contact numbers for people and everything should automatically be
Yeah, this is
locally
it's my answer is based on convenience
yeah.
and replacing the stuff I have in my wallet that matters is going to be so annoying.
I'm going to ask a weird question, but it has a point. Allow me some leeway here. Have you heard of the thing about people having an emotional support water bottle?
Oh, is that what they're calling it? Do you mean my son? I carry around with me all the time. Sure. I guess I haven't heard of it, but if that's what we're calling it, then I am guilty. And I literally call this my son. It's a half gallon. I drink two of these a day, and I bring it with me everywhere. And people have stopped asking me questions about it at this point, so that's great.
Well, now you've got a new terminology for it.
Yes.
I love just your son though. That's fantastic too. I don't think emotional support water bottle could top that. But and
Yeah.
this links back to the phone thing. I had a point. This links back to the phone thing because
Okay.
I could not. I would rather lose my wallet. I know that it's time and I know that it's money and I know that the phone is just money and I know that it's all on the cloud, but I'm so attached to this thing. I can't. I can't lose my phone. Everything that I have on it digitally is in the cloud. And I know that. That's what makes it
Yeah.
really dumb is the fact that I know that all of that content is there in the cloud. But can I ever let the phone go? I will cry. I would bawl my eyes out if
Wow.
I lost my phone. It would probably be similar to you and your son.
Ah, understood.
Yeah. Have you
I think
lost?
I'm low key looking for an excuse to lose my phone and have it destroyed and never return again, because of how addicted I am to it. I don't think yeah, I think I'm looking for an excuse where it's not my fault. I just don't have a phone anymore. But I can't, it is many things for me, but I would like it not to be.
Fair enough. So
Even if it's a day, even if it's 12 hours where it's like, oh, you couldn't reach me. Oh, well, that
is it
would be
because of
nice.
the people contacting you or spending too much time on social media? For me, it's doom scrolling. I spend way too much time just scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. That's what gets
Yes.
me. Is it similar for you?
It's all of that. Yes, all of the above. But yeah, yes.
Addictive.
I don't want to be like that, but I
Yeah.
am like that. So take it.
So you're like, get rid
Take
of the
it from me.
phone. Whereas I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah.
too attached. I need it. I can't.
Yes, which one of us is healthier? We'll never know.
I don't have a water bottle. I should get, I mean, I just plastic, like I do, but it's like cheap. Like I need to stop
I
using
think you're
it.
doing great.
No, don't, no, don't. I need to get a water bottle. No, no, no. I'm gonna get less addicted to my phone, and get a water bottle, and you're going to miss
Okay,
the phone for 12 hours, and that's
great.
the plan. We're doing it,
Uh,
okay?
okay, I'm
You're
here
going to
for
miss your
it.
phone for 12 hours, and I'm going to get a water bottle. That's
Sounds good.
weird. All right, one more, this or that, and then we might jump into another question that you sent to finish us off
Okay.
today. This is hilarious. Final one for you: slow internet or red traffic lights?
Red traffic lights. No, red traffic lights. I can't. I expect traffic to be bad. If the internet is less than 100, like to this day, I know I've been groomed. We've all been groomed for faster, 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 faster internet, and and I can't go back. You can't go back. We've done it like, in the wilderness or like my parents' place on their ranch, and it is maddening. It is still, like you shouldn't be like that. It's still magical, but it's almost like it's offensive when the internet is slow. I get abnormally irate. That's going to be the first thing that starts me into a rage. So traffic can be red all day long. It
Yeah,
already sucks.
she needs internet. She needs the internet. Okay, all right.
Yes,
I'm
she
not leaving
does.
that there. You get you like I can feel the tension. You're like, I can't. I need the don't even go there. I'm like, all right, we'll leave that
No.
from there. I wish for you to have nothing but fast internet forever.
Thank you so much. I received that.
No worries. Thank you for playing this or that. It's always a little bit of a fun game and a great.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. We've got a little bit more time before we wrap up, and we will talk about some of your upcoming events and other things that you've got going on. But before we get to that, I am going to bring up briefly one of the other five topics that you
Okay.
wrote down because it's too hilarious not to, and the fact that you can't remember quite what you sent me as well also makes this kind of fun.
I know, I
Um,
know.
one of the topics, like 3 lines long, that you sent out of the five, says,
Oh.
I don't remember his name, but I'm manifesting that guy or just his vibe from improv class at Groundlings almost 20 years ago as well.
Oh. Okay, I did forget that I sent that. Wow. Um, yes. So I am single. I had a rip-roaring breakup 4 years ago that he we were gonna, he's one of those like the one we thought, and then he just wasn't. And okay, fine. But it was really hard and devastating. But for these last 4 years, I've had a rough time dating, like really, really interesting time. And I've dated a lot. I've like made sure to put myself
You
out there and
proactive
really do
about
it.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, very, very forward about that, very living my life, having a good life, and then also wanting what I want. And so doing the things I thought to do. I hired a dating coach. For 6 months. I also, for a time, I went on 120 dates in 16 months. Most of them were first dates, but some of those are including second dates or third dates or fourth dates. And in some cases, fifth dates or more. But yes, that amount. And then I guess it's been about a year and a half. Last February was my last time because I was like, God, I'm just tired. Anyway, that's my history. I know you didn't ask that, but the reason I brought that up is because I had remembered this person. I was in an improv class over a decade ago, maybe 15 years ago. And this person, this man, it was like I could do no wrong. He looked at me like I was a miracle. And I was good at improv. Like I've always been good at improv and comedy and all of that. But he looked at me like I was a miracle. And at the end of class, we had a party and we kissed, and that was cute. And that was that. That was the end of that. And I think at the time, because I'm 40 now, so I would have been like 25, maybe 24, somewhere around there. And I think I wasn't able to accept that kind of like love, I guess, or affection or whatever that was. Um, I remember him not being very good at improv, and I think that mattered to me on some level when it didn't need to. Like he was in a totally different profession. He was taking improv class for totally different reasons than I was taking it. but it sticks in my brain a lot. And I was like, wow, if I had the maturity to realize that's how I should be treated, or I guess just like had more therapy to realize, like, oh, that's what, like, like it wasn't putting me on a pedestal. It was just like pure adoration. It was like, I like you and I like you a lot. And it's you. And wow, that's so cool. What a treasure you are. It was that level of effect of like vibe. I don't know. The vibe was so good and real. And I think I was turned off by it because I didn't feel that way about myself, or, whatever therapy, psychology you want to do about that. Um, but but I think these days that's literally, I'm like, oh no, I won't accept anything less than that.
Self-worth, I think, is what you're getting at.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's a hard one. That's a hard
Yeah,
one.
in I mean, you're talking 20 years ago. In that, somebody saw you for who you are and the amazing person that you are, but your own negative opinion, or maybe even not negative, but just not good. Having
Yeah.
strong self-worth didn't allow you to do anything with that, to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Couldn't accept it, and that's sort of ended that. But hindsight, that's the thing though. We look back from what we did 20, 10, however many years ago, and we go, yeah, that was dumb, or I should have, whatever. But and then we're so hard on ourselves, like, I didn't accept it back then, and that was so bad. But I guess the thing is, that's what hindsight does. But in the moment, we're only working with what we've got at the time, the only knowledge that we have at the time. So that's, the beauty
Yeah.
of hindsight, to look back and go, didn't have very good self-worth. I couldn't accept that somebody just thought I
Definitely
was
not.
cool and that was okay. Like,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
think you're alone in feeling that or having that struggle, and then realizing later to be like, oh, that was my problem because it was my lack of self-worth that didn't accept.
It was, and he was so cute. Like he was so attractive. I remember being like, I mean, I think he was a lawyer, like he wasn't, that's what I mean, like a different profession. I was always doing entertainment stuff and he was a lawyer. But there was, yeah, it was just like, there were, I just look back on it going, interesting. Like I just remember how all of that felt. And I was the deciding factor in that. There was no doubt, he was like, he couldn't have been like everyone in class knew it. It was like, this guy, I would do a scene with him and he wouldn't even play. He just was like, he was an audience member if I was in a scene with him, because he was like just like looking at me like, wow, what magic is she gonna pull out of her butt? Wow, like it was that level
Yeah.
of, I yeah, it's not like I miss that attention, but I miss the unconditional part about it, where it was like, oh, it's very clear he likes me. And there's nothing, if it doesn't matter if anything else is funny in the room or cool in the room, like he's like locked in and going, but there's something special that's gonna, come out of Amy. And that was really, really I just remember it so, and I thought I mean, obviously, I thought he was cute and attractive too, and I don't think it wasn't me being like, ugh, not that guy. I know it was me being like, um, oh, like not understanding that there's like this way that people can like you
Why
without conditions
How
or
could
for
he
a
possibly think?
reason.
Yeah, how could he possibly think that way? Or what's wrong with him to be thinking that way about
Yeah.
me?
Or this will burn out soon enough.
Or he'll see me
Nice
for
try,
me,
guy.
he'll see me for me in another week or so, like, and then it'll fizzle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes, all of that. Yeah.
100% self worth. Yeah, just hindsight.
Yeah.
On that really depressing note, let's let's talk about well, not really, we'll wrap it up on that really, really depressing note, also because I'm aware of time. But
Okay.
I I think you've touched on something important though, in that now you've realized that what he was offering then in how he saw you is not some big, amazing, above and beyond thing. That's the minimum standard that you should be looking
Yeah.
at. And that's a healthy self-worth view that you have now, in that what he was back then and you were like, oh wow, that's crazy, now should be the bare minimum that you're looking for. Somebody
I
who
know.
just, yeah, but being able to, learn that and go through that journey to, within yourself, accept that I have value and I should be treated like I have value and I won't settle for anything less than the value that I am. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
So
Let's wrap
that's
it up.
not so depressing. That's not so depressing,
That's a good
actually.
highlight. So there we go. So we've learned something though.
That's right.
Yeah. It took
That's funny. I don't remember including that, but I remember it. I remember it so tangibly. Like that feeling. It was an 8-week class, and I remember the party afterwards. And um yeah, it was like too good to be true. That I remember thinking that, oh, this is too good to be true.
well, obviously, it's made a deep impact on your life because when you were asked, because the only prompt I gave you was 5 topics that you could comfortably talk about for at least half an hour. That was it.
Yeah.
You could have picked anything in the whole world, anything in your whole experience, in your whole life, in anything you enjoy, literally anything that you could comfortably talk about for half an hour. And that was one of the specific topics that you sent me. So obviously that's a touchstone point in your life. That's a
Yeah.
deep and meaningful impact for you. And I'm really thankful that I got to chat to you about it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I got to remember it once again. I don't even remember his name, but I remember his face and how tall he was and his smile and his eyes. And I remember those things. I remember and yeah, that feeling. Such a good feeling. Cool.
So cute. Okay. What have you got coming up? If people have enjoyed hearing us have this chat today and they want to find you on social media or they want to know about any comedy shows or improv things that you've got coming up and they want to watch you or live stream anything that you've got going on, where can they find more and what have you been up to? What have you got happening?
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. I'm gonna be launching an improv class for RPGs soon. It's a 4-week improv class, and I'm doing that with Dave Hill and Douglas Serene, both of them who have been like lifelong improvisers and improv teachers and gamers. So we're doing that. And the other thing is I'm going to be launching a Kickstarter for my one-person comedy musical called As Long as There's Magic. And the best place for both of those, I will be posting mostly my Instagram, my newsletter, and my Discord. All the links are in my bio at the on Instagram. So that's at Vorpahl Sword, Vorpahl Sword. But if you want to just go straight to the newsletter, that's the one that's going to be like, oh, you won't miss it. That's amyvorpahl.com/subscribe. And I really only send emails once a month, but when I'm gearing up for a launch like this, it'll be once a week.
Awesome. And we
So
will
that's it.
include all of your links in the description that will be below wherever you're finding this video. And if you're listening to
Yes.
the podcast,
And
audio, it'll be in the
I
captions somewhere.
mentioned,
Go find it.
yes, I mentioned my Discord, and everyone on the Discord is a nerdy creative, and most people there are on some level looking to earn money for their creativity. And so that the discussions go around like food or art or D&D and all of that, but it's like that's where I hosted my dungeon master school. It's where like the improvisers like hang out. It's where it's kind of this, it's a cool energy. Everyone's really supportive. There's a mental health like rant channel, but the vibe there is very much like nerdy creatives looking on some level to make whatever they're making into a profession and literally earn money from it.
I love that. And I know that there are people that follow this podcast who fit right into that category.
Yes.
People who want to make money doing creative, nerdy things that would absolutely love to have,
And I'm there every day. Yeah,
yeah,
and I'm there every day. I like make my contact really available. I'm hopping on the phone with one of the members tomorrow actually have like a strategy to like talk strategy,
yeah, amazing.
and I'm happy to do it.
Awesome. That's so cool. I know that some of the followers on the podcast would absolutely love to jump at the chance
Yes,
to
jump in.
and be, yeah, be involved in that and meet some other people, make some new friends and join a new community. That sounds fantastic. So I'll make sure we put all of the comments, all the links and everything for all of those social connections in our comments, in our captions so that people can go and find
Thank
you
you.
and connect. And that's really awesome.
Sweet. Thank you, Gemma.
So much for hanging out today. This has been an absolute blast. And there you go. It's been
Yes.
an hour, and you were so worried that you weren't going to make it. How was it?
I know. What was I worried about? You're a pro. You're a pro. This was so much fun. And I didn't those weren't the ones that I was like, "Oh, maybe I don't want to talk about this one." But yeah, those are so much fun to dive back into. Like even just thinking where my mind was submitting those was like, "Oh yeah, must have been thinking about that kind of stuff." That's so cool.
Well, now I know that the other 3 out of the 5 that you sent me were other ones that you're a bit like, oh, I hope she didn't pick that, or I'm glad she didn't pick.
One of them was, yeah, one of them would be like, okay, if you want to talk about it, we'll do it. But no, they're all fair game for sure, but
So we're just going to have you
interesting.
back on again for another episode
Yeah.
into the other 3, because there's going to be listeners now that are like, well, tell us what the other ones were. We need to know.
No, no, no. But yeah, I got to keep on
That's
wanting
it.
more.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today.
You too, Gemma. Thank you so much.
And that's it for episode 5 of I Don't Know What We're Talking About. A huge thanks to Amy Vorpahl for hanging out with me. This conversation was a little silly and so much fun. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow and subscribe wherever you listen. And don't forget, you can get early access and behind the scenes extras over on patreon.com/Gemma Watches Stuff. Be kind to yourself and keep finding all those little moments of joy. I'll see you next time.